Hello, my sweet victim of shadows. Welcome back. Tonight, I invite you to take a little walk. Not far, just a mile down the road, past some rusted gas pumps, past the mechanic with one good eye, toward a quaint town that shouldn't exist, but somehow it does. Let me tell you the story of Elliot Granger, a man who thought he'd left his past behind. But the past has teeth, baby, and sometimes it bites back. Elliot was the kind of man who wore suits that cost more than your rent, an advertising executive in the city, a world of cell phones, laptops, meetings, and big deals, where everything was loud, fast, and cold. One summer afternoon, his vintage Jaguar coughed once and died. He pulled over to a crooked little garage off Route 77. The mechanic, a grease-slick man with one good eye and a lip full of tobacco, grinned and said, "It'll take a couple hours to get the part and another one to put it in. There's a town just a mile down the road though, nothing fancy, but you can get a bite and stretch your legs." So Elliot thought as long as he had to wait, a breath of fresh air wouldn't hurt. So he walked. The sky softened, the air thickened with honeysuckle and memory. The breeze carried band music, faint but familiar. When he reached the edge of town, something shifted. This wasn't a new town. This was Brookfield, his hometown. But this wasn't just nostalgia. It was 1982. Somehow, impossibly, Elliot had walked into the past. He passed Mr. Harlow's barber shop, its striped pole spinning lazily. Inside, faded posters of baseball players, an old radio playing 80s hustle music, the smell of aftershave and clove. Across the street, Little League kids practiced in cotton uniforms. The soda fountain sold root beer floats for $1. Then he saw his house, and on the porch with a paper and iced tea was his father. Suddenly, Elliot looked down. His arms, his shoes. He was 12 years old again. "You look like hell, son," his father chuckled. "Come sit, you hungry?" Tears welled in Elliot's eyes. He hadn't seen his dad in 30 years, not since the stroke. But before he could speak, a voice split the air. "Well, if it ain't little Ellie Granger, you finally come back, huh?" Bobby Marston, the tormentor, the boy who made every school day a nightmare. He stood across the street, still 12, still cruel, still grinning, but his smile was wrong. His eyes were too dark, too knowing, as if he remembered everything Elliot ever feared. Elliot backed away, but Bobby followed. Words became taunts, taunts became threats, threats became fists. They ran. Through the alley behind the school, down Maple Street, toward the old bandstand in the park. Elliot couldn't outrun him, not then, not now. A boot struck his ribs. He hit the ground, gasping. And then, a hand yanked Bobby away. His father. "You done running, son? The 12-year-old in you still wants to run, but if you don't stand up now, you never will." Elliot stood for the first time and swung. The punch landed. Nothing had ever felt better. Bobby vanished, like a smudge wiped clean from an old photograph. The town faded. The scent of cut grass, the bandstand, the sun, gone. Elliot woke on the gravel shoulder outside the garage. His clothes were torn, his ribs ached, but he smiled. He stood up off the dirty gravel road and softly hummed, "Every breath you take." "You find what you were looking for, pal?" the mechanic asked. Elliot laughed. Not what I was looking for. Let's just say I finally took care of a big pain in the ass that I should have handled a long time ago. Then he walked back to the car, changed, older, wiser, at peace. He got in and answered his car phone. Yeah, I got it. What time's the meeting? Don't worry, consider it closed. But somewhere, in the town that shouldn't exist, Bobby waits. Still 12. Still a vicious bully. Still a pain in the ass. But where? Just a mile down the road. Because occasionally, we all have a mile to walk. Just be careful where yours ends.